Thank you for joining us today on Barlow BBQ. If you're a beginner and you're just starting out on the pit barrel cooker and you've never done ribs, then this video is just for you. I'm going to share step by step my process on how I smoke ribs on the pit barrel, and I'm keeping it real simple. I don't do any wrapping, I don't do any spritzing. All I do is just hit them with some rub and let the smoke take care of the rest. So if you're looking to do some awesome ribs at your next barbecue, stick around and let's get started. Ribs are one of my favorite things to barbecue, and the pit barrel cooker just knocks it out of the park every single time. Now I see a lot of people who like to wrap their ribs, and they use like the 3-2-1 method, which is 3 hours of smoke, 2 hours wrapped, 1 hour unwrapped, and back in the smoke until it's done. Now there's nothing wrong with that method, and if that's the kind of method that you prefer to do, go for it. It's all good. But for me personally, I like to keep things really simple here at Barlow BBQ. So what I'm going to do with these ribs, I'm going to put a little bit of homemade rub on those and get the pit barrel going. And once that's ready, we're going to hang those ribs in the pit barrel and leave them alone until they are done. Okay? Now the one thing that I use to determine when the ribs are done is the tenderness test. And we'll talk about that later on in the video once those ribs are close to being done. These are spare ribs in a St. Louis style cut, okay? So that's where you've got both ends kind of trimmed to a square. Now the first thing we need to do is flip those ribs over because there's a membrane on the back of those bones that we need to remove. What I like to do is use a kitchen knife and get that underneath the membrane and lift up a little bit. And then I get some paper towels, and that really helps me keep a hold of that membrane, and you could usually get that off with one pull. Of course, since this is a video, I've got to do it a couple times, but you get the idea. Once you've got the membrane off, and it's time to hit them with some rub. Now I'm using some homemade Barlow BBQ pork rub. I'll have a recipe for it right down below in the description box for you, but you're free to use whatever rub or seasoning that you like. Make sure you get both sides coated in rub. Then we're going to hold those in the fridge until it's time to cook. So I'll see you back here when the charcoal is ready to go in the pit barrel. Alright y'all, our charcoal is ready to go in the pit barrel. And just to let you know, I did set everything up and light that charcoal according to the instructions for the pit barrel cooker. So let me get this charcoal and get that in the pit barrel. Next up, I've got a few chunks of apple wood right here, but you go ahead and use whatever type of wood that you like best. Alright, we got this pit barrel all fired up. Let's grab the ribs. Now we are going to hang those today, so we need to get a hook in there. There we go, just like that. These ribs are ready to hang. Let's drop them in there, cover it up, give them a couple hours. So I'll see you guys back here in just a little bit. These ribs have been smoking for 2 hours, so it's time to lift the lid and take a little peek. Now before we do that, go ahead and grab a toothpick. And what we're going to do is check for tenderness. I'm looking for this toothpick to feel like it's going into soft butter. If it doesn't feel like that, we're just going to leave them alone and let them ride. Got my toothpick right here, and I'm going to go ahead and just see how that's feeling. There's still quite a bit of resistance in there, so these definitely have some more time. So let's go ahead and get these back in, get the lid on, and let it go for about, let's say, another hour. Okay folks, we are 4 hours into the cook. It's been about 2 hours since I saw you guys last. So I'll tell you what, let's take a look at these and see how they're doing. And don't forget your toothpick. All right, let's see how these ribs are feeling tenderness-wise. Checking the middle first. These are feeling real good. Going in nice and easy. There's still just a little tiny bit of resistance. I keep hitting bone there. Let's see how the ends are doing. Here we go. Real good. Real good. It's super soft back there. And up here. There we go. Okay, folks. I'm going to say these are done. Let's go ahead and get these off the pit barrel. And there you go, folks. We've got this beautiful rack of pork spare ribs. So easy to do on that pit barrel cooker. I tell you what, I hope you apply that tenderness test. That's the way to go. It takes a little practice, you know, to kind of get a feel for how it should feel. But you'll have it in no time, and I promise you, you're going to get great ribs. So without further ado, I'm going to hit these ribs with a little bit of glaze. We'll slice them up, and we'll try them out. Don't go anywhere. These ribs are looking beautiful, so now I'm going to hit them with a homemade peach habanero scotch glaze. Now we've got a video for this recipe right up here. I'll show a card for it on the screen, and we'll have a link to it right down below in the description box. Well, look who it is. Martha, glad you could join us for the taste test of these pit barrel ribs.
My timing is impeccable.
Cheers. And cheers to y'all for hanging out with us today.
I'll say.
All right, now, right down here, the ribs.
These look great.
They look awesome.
Look how shiny they are. Candy.
You ready for this?
I was born ready for this.
All right. Look at that, folks. That's what you want.
I didn't just marry you for your good looks.
Don't mess with a grill master, all right?
These are great, sweetie. Good job.
That bark is excellent.
Yeah.
And that sauce you made,
Whew.
real sweet, but you got to pay for that sweet with a lot of heat.
Whole lot of heat.
Yeah, that's going on in there from that habanero. That's real good. One more bite before we wrap this up. Well, Martha, what'd you think of those ribs?
I gotta tell you, sweetie. I gotta be honest. Those were great.
Oh,
I love those ribs.
had me going there for a second.
He always does a good job at ribs. If he hasn't been able to figure it out by now. Whew.
But this video is not about me and my ribs. This video is all about you
And your ribs.
Okay? I hope this video inspires you to try it out on your own. And if you guys ever have any questions, please feel free to drop us a line. Get in touch with us, okay? We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Come by, say hello. We really appreciate seeing you. And as always, smoke them if you got them.
That's right.
Bye-bye.